YouTube, it's your man, Knockdown Boxing Sports and Entertainment, back at you with another video. Hit that like and subscribe on your way in. Now it's fight week, December 23rd, this Saturday, day of reckoning, with the headliners, Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder versus Joseph Parker. And then we got Anthony Joshua versus Otto B. Wildin. Plus we got Jarrell Big Baby Miller versus Daniel Du Bois. And then we got Dimitri Bivol on the card. He's fighting somebody I never heard of him before, but it's a pretty stacked card for the closeout of 2023. It's been a hell of a year in boxing. A lot of good fights that were put on this year. And like I said, this is the way to go out with a bang. Shout out to the Saudis for putting on this massive card. It reminds me of the old Don King days where he put on cards like this with multiple heavyweights. You know, some good times back in the day watching those fights, those Don King cards. Now, we got Deontay Wilder versus Joseph Parker, which I think is going to be a good fight. Joseph Parker has had multiple fights this year, I believe, at least 3. You know, Deontay Wilder's been out waiting to get the Anthony Joshua fight, but that fight fell through. But now we got him versus Joseph Parker, which is a good scrap. Now, I've been watching Deontay Wilder train with Malik Scott, and he looks sharp. He looks really good. Look like he added some more tools to his arsenal, and I can't wait to see him on display. Now, I'm anticipating a knockout, but because of how tricky Joseph Parker is, I don't think Deontay Wilder is going to get that knockout right away. You know, it might be later on in the fight where he lands something on Joseph Parker, and then, you know, Joseph Parker's going to go to sleep, in my opinion. But the fight that concerns me is the Anthony Joshua versus Otto Wildin fight. Hopefully, Anthony Joshua can get past Otto Wildin. Otto Wildin gave Tyson Fury a run for his money a couple years ago. I actually thought Otto Wildin beat Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury had this big gash over his eye where the meat was hanging out. Fight really should have been stopped, but they allowed it to continue on and end up giving Tyson Fury the fight anyway. Like I said, I thought he lost the fight, but, you know, it is what it is. But Otto Wildin is a very, very tricky fighter. You know, very, very tricky feet. He's a good fighter, and I kind of foresee him frustrating Anthony Joshua. Hopefully not. Anthony Joshua has made improvements with Derrick James, and I'm kind of anxious to see if he's further improved his skills training with Derrick James. But I don't know. Worst case scenario is Deontay Wilder wins his fight and Anthony Joshua loses his fight. Then we won't get the super fight for next year. Best case scenario, Deontay Wilder wins by knockout and Anthony Joshua wins by knockout. And that's really going to set up for the mega fight next year, and it has to take place next year. No ifs, ands, or but about it, because this fight is long overdue. It should have happened years ago. Eddie Hearn and all the rest of the boxing world were trying to stop this fight from happening, which I didn't understand why. It was a super fight. Would have broke records in my opinion, but we're getting it now. It still has some buzz, so they need to jump on it. And I think the Saudis are trying to put that together. And like I said, once again, shout out to the Saudis. Hopefully they can continue to put on cards like this in the future, because it looks like they're trying to save boxing, in my opinion. Now, Deontay Wilder, like I said, man, hopefully, well, I don't need to say hopefully. I believe Deontay Wilder's going to get the knockout over Joseph Parker. And like I said, him getting the knockout, Anthony Joshua getting the knockout, best case scenario. Now, moving on to Jarrell Big Baby Miller versus Daniel Du Bois. Now, Jarrell, shall I say, Miller has been out for a while. He got popped. He was supposed to fight Anthony Joshua a couple years ago. Got popped for PEDs, and he's really been out ever since. Daniel Du Bois, on the other hand, he's fought, but he hasn't looked that great. So, I think this is kind of a how can I say it? A last ditch effort for both fighters to remain in the heavyweight talks, because like I said, they both, Daniel Du Bois hasn't been looking good. I think he lost his last couple fights, I believe. And then, like I said, Jarrell Miller popped dirty. He's been out. So really, this is just like who's going to be saved? It's like somebody's last lifeline, in my opinion. But it should be a good scrap. I don't know who's going to win that fight. I'll make a prediction later on in the week on that, but that should be a good fight because, like I said, they're fighting to stay in the heavyweight talks, in my opinion. And then we got Demetrius Bivol. Dimitri Bivol really hasn't been seen since he schooled Canelo Alvarez. Now he's fighting some guy named Landon Arthur. I don't know how you pronounce his name, Leiden, but never heard of this guy. I would say Dimitri is going to beat him, but like I said, I haven't seen this guy fight. I don't know how good he is, but yeah, Dimitri Bivol, he's pretty much been thrown under the bus since he schooled Canelo. Just like kind of got blackballed from boxing, but it's good to see that he's fighting on this card because I like to see more from him. Really, I want to see him versus Beterbiev or Beterbiev, however you pronounce that name. That fight should have happened a long time ago, but hopefully we get that fight next year. But this card is a good card, man. Like I said, it's a hell of a closeout for 2023, and I can't wait. I'll make my final predictions later on in the week, like I said. And yeah, man, this is a good card, and I can't wait, man. And I'm looking forward to next year because, like I said, hopefully Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua get past both of their opponents. Best case scenario, they both get a knockout, and then we got the super fight set up. They get everything signed and ready to go for next year. Close to summertime, which would be a great time to have that fight. And then we can have some great fights. We have the Errol Spence versus Terrence Crawford rematch in February, March in that range. Deontay Wilder versus Anthony Joshua, close to the summer. Then we can have Devin the Dream Haney versus Tank Davis. Man, that'll be a hell of a year in boxing, man. Hell of a year if they can pull it off. But we know how boxing does, though. They like to try to milk stuff out, but man, that shit is over with. Milking and all that, it's time to make these fights now, man. And like I said, the Saudis are trying to bring boxing back. They're trying to lead the charge in putting on great cards. And like I said, I hope that they can continue to do this. I hope this card is successful on Saturday so that we can see what the Saudis can do in the future. But like I said, man, anyway, it's your man, Knockdown Boxing, Sports and Entertainment. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will catch y'all on the next one, man. Peace.